welcome to Ever After, a Once Upon a Time podcast, Season 1, Episode 19, The Return. In this episode, as Mr. Gold attempts to expose August's true identity, Regina is confronted about her involvement in Catherine's disappearance. I am your host, Molly Southgate, and with me is
Martha Southgate
and
Rob Southgate.
Okay, didn't see this one coming.
No.
Didn't see what one coming?
I did not see this episode. All of a sudden, we were watching this.
Yeah, you mean who
with
August is?
And all this stuff, and I'm thinking, what the heck is going on here?
So we, before this episode, kept trying to speculate on who August was, and I think we were kind of settled on he's one of the brothers. Grimm, right?
Yeah.
Or at least something like that.
Well, that's what you two were settled on.
Well, that's what we settled on. Mom was wrong. And
no, we still don't know who he is.
No, we don't know who he is.
Yeah.
What if he is one of the brothers Grimm still? We might be right. Mom's still wrong.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Right.
So this was really full of twists, and I have to say, I think the Rumpelstiltskin stories are my favorite. Like, I want to know, every time I know it's a Rumpelstiltskin thing, I really get invested in it, because I just think he's such an interesting character. It just keeps unfolding, and it's so good.
Well, and he has a lot of depth to his character, and you never know, he's not just evil.
Right.
Regina doesn't have really any redeeming qualities. She's never good.
Right.
She's not a nice person.
Right, she's not a nice person, whereas
Mr. Gold has a lot of layers, like an onion.
Right. He was like an onion.
Shrek.
Like Shrek.
He was a nice guy.
Yeah.
Then he was a bad
Then he
guy.
became evil because of the power and the magic.
But then he was kind of nice because he was trying to protect his son.
But he hasn't been nice here.
Very much.
But then until, right now, he's like, my son's there.
Right, when he thought it was going to be with his son, that's when he turned nice, right?
And then he turned evil again.
All right.
So August has something weird with his leg.
Yeah, what's up with that?
And when he was going down the thing with Emma...
In the last episode.
Yeah, going down that little hill, he said, oh, my leg. and then in this episode... His leg was flinging him all over his bed.
Yeah, he woke up and was shaking his leg, and then they showed...
That is a very extreme restless leg syndrome.
It's
Restless leg syndrome.
And then
restless
when they...
leg.
What? You're just kicking your leg in the air?
I'm shaking my leg.
I'm shaking my arms. Restless arm syndrome.
Yeah. So when he was in bed and that leg was shaking around, then you saw...
It threw him off the bed. I mean,
it's
like something is taking hold of him.
Then you
like
saw...
it was possessed.
Yes,
right.
Exactly. So there's something.
And then you saw him as a kid, or you saw...
No. First he makes the phone call to somebody, and he says,
we got to do this faster.
We have to accelerate the plan because it's getting worse over here. What the heck is getting there? What's happening there?
Mom thought he had a twin, but that was just another picture of him.
That was me being a goofball.
Yeah. It was in
him
a
and Henry.
Well, what I wanted to say was when you saw... They misled us a little bit here. Yeah. They used misdirection. Because when we saw Rumpelstiltskin and his son, the son hurt his leg. Yeah. So we thought, obviously, he hurt his leg. That's his son.
August is Mr. Gold's son.
Yes, and I wrote it with big exclamation points here after you said that. Because oh my gosh, that's who August is.
No, it isn't.
And the whole episode, they were leading you that way until what happened, Mal?
Rumpelstiltskin acted like he was his son, and then he took the thing, he tried to control him.
With the sword.
Right, with the only thing that could kill Rumpelstiltskin. And that's when he knew, you're not my son. So who is he?
Because my son would know that magic doesn't work in this world, and that you're not... Yeah, he's like, there's no way he would have made that mistake.
I think there was a clue. And I don't know what the clue is yet. But
that's helpful.
I know what the clue is, but I don't know what it means. I think that whoever he called, I'm having a feeling that maybe August is a creature rather than a person.
And he's going to
And there's magic that he's trying to keep holding him together, which is why when the leg is shaking, there's something about the leg that the magic is bleeding through. Even though there's no magic in this realm, he's using something.
I thought
he called Henry. Can I tell you the clue?
Yeah,
can I tell you the clue?
You were just going along with it.
The paperweight was a donkey.
There was a paperweight?
The paperweight on August's desk.
I thought it was a dog.
It was a donkey.
Dog.
It was a donkey!
It looked like a dog!
Okay, if it turns out to be a dog, I'll say I'm wrong. But you know what? I know it's a donkey. And I know there are donkeys throughout, not just Shrek, but in the Grimm's fairy tales.
They're in Pinocchio.
The ass.
Who's the ass?
The ass, the stick, and the table.
Wait a minute. Pinocchio. The kids turned into donkeys.
Mm-hmm.
So they did transform. Maybe that's what happened here. He's transformed and he's starting to turn back into a donkey or something.
Or it's the ass, the table, and the stick.
Could be.
We read that one, right, Mom?
Yeah, and he spits out gold. I'm gonna get him to come over to my house, spit out whatever they say.
Yeah, spit out some gold for us. That'd be nice.
Well, we'll see what it is.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking. I think that donkey we saw on his desk was a clue. And we might be, I might be right with that donkey from Pinocchio. Oh, you say no? Ooh, I hope I'm right.
Oh, I hope you're wrong.
So, when they showed Rumpelstiltskin, we're at that point after he's gotten the black magic, and he says, I used this power to stop the ogre war. Remember in that other one they were talking about the ogre war and they were taking all the kids? Mm-hmm. When he turned evil, we didn't see him stop the ogre war, did we?
Mm-hmm. No.
They made reference to him, like, being involved, but I don't think we saw that. But they said he walked out on that battlefield and stopped it. So he was trying to be a good guy with that, but then he became awful.
He's just misguided.
Yes. Oh, he's just drawn that way, isn't he, Marth?
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of cool that we got to see kind of that evolution of Rumpelstiltskin. And he kind of was doing his little ticks up, like that. And he was saying the things and doing his little laugh kind of bled through. Not as much as it does later, but I don't think he's fully crazy yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, and then his son is sitting there with his little friend, his girlfriend, and she says, oh, summon the Rollgorm, or whatever she called it.
Yeah, I wrote down Rollgorm, too.
And an ancient creature that's more powerful than Rumpelstiltskin.
Right, and who is the Rollgorm, Marth?
Molly?
The blue
Do you mean
fairy.
I meant Molly.
The blue fairy.
Yeah. Well,
so scary.
She's not scary.
They make her sound scary.
Who is the blue fairy in Storybrooke?
We don't know yet.
Mother
Yes, we do.
Superior.
No, she is not. She does not look like her.
But you know what? We know 100% she is Mother Superior.
Okay, she's Mother Superior.
Yeah, her hair looks completely different, but that is definitely...
I might be right for once in this episode.
But anyway, they're sitting there under the tree, he and this girl, and they're talking about the Rollgorm, and Rumpelstiltskin comes back.
Right, and the girl scoots off, right?
The girl runs, and he says, why, I don't understand. Why are people afraid of me?
My friend's so scared.
After that earlier scene when he turned the guy into a snail and crushed him under his boot in front of everybody, I wonder why they're scared of him.
So, he says, what's there to be frightened of? But he tells Bay that he killed the maid.
Yeah.
That had been in their house earlier in the day.
Oh, that was so funny. Babe, we need a new maid.
Right. Actually, this was my favorite line. I want to say my favorite line because Bay says, "But you didn't. She was a mute." And he goes, "Even a mute can draw a picture." And he kind of points at him, like shoots at him, and walks off. I was like, "Oh, that is so funny."
And he does it. He just delivers his lines in such a way that is.
Oh,
well,
it's just so.
Yeah, that's Robert Carlyle who plays him, and I think that guy is fantastic.
This character is so perfect.
I can't think of a thing I've seen Robert Carlyle in where I didn't really, really enjoy him. And this is just, even though this is like this weird, goofy character, he is just bringing so much to it.
Yeah, he's amazing.
So funny.
And I think he's done that hand motion that you just did.
Yes.
So the Blue Fairy came to see Bay.
And you just did his laugh.
Is it Bay or Bale?
His nickname is Bay.
Okay.
And she says,
Not Bane.
Not Bane.
Leave with your dad and go where his magic doesn't work. And that's what will save you both.
Right.
And she gives him a magic bean. And she says, follow it wherever it leads you. But she says it's my last one. So be careful and be wise about how you use it.
Right.
So then when he gets his dad and they go and he drops the bean, his dad won't go with them.
Right. Well, yeah, he doesn't want to lose his power and his gold and everything. So he's now getting taken over by those things.
And he lets go.
He lets go
and dropped him into that scary hole, tornado-y looking thing.
It was like Boba Fett falling in the Sarlacc pit. That guy is gone.
So very, very, and then to see he won't give up his power to go with his son, and he's just as soon as the hole closes up,
remorse.
He's clawing it and saying, "Oh no, what have I done?
I want to go.
Yeah, you can't go now."
And then he starts yelling for the Blue Fairy, who shows up and is like, "Tough. Yeah. There's nothing you can do." You know, and he said their magic doesn't mix well with my magic, so it's like there's a real conflict going on.
Yes,
here. I like when he started swinging his knife at the Blue Fairy.
So that was funny.
Oh my god, he was going to just kill her right there.
And this was the only time he's ever broken a contract.
And he made reference to that earlier too, that I've only broken one contract. Now we've seen it. If I was him, I would have had one of those electric bug zappers. That would really take care of the Blue Fairy. Zip.
Electric bug zappers.
What are electric bug zappers? It's that thing that looks like a fly swatter, but you squeeze the buttons and it fries the bugs.
Oh yeah, so when it gets on the thing.
Yep, exactly.
Henry and August are working together as a team.
Right.
So I thought maybe it was Henry he called and said we have to accelerate the plan.
Right.
Because Henry knows that his plan is
I wonder if it was.
His plan was to get Emma to understand that the story's real, the curse is real.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because until you just said that, and it makes sense that it was, I was thinking it was another party, somebody we haven't seen who he's working with. But if you think about it, the very next scene is him standing out there with Henry.
And Henry goes into Mr. Gold's store under the guise of looking for a gift for Mary Margaret, so that August can snoop around.
Just buy something.
Right, but he was doing it. He wouldn't necessarily have gone there to get it.
Right. He was doing it so that August could sneak in the back
to get in so he could get in the office to look for the knife. So he and Henry are completely working together, fully under this.
Right. Although Henry doesn't know any of what's going on there.
Henry knows that August believes him and believes the curse, and so he was doing whatever August needed him to do in order to get Emma to understand that. You know, so he thought, well, if this is what he needs to do, if this is part of his big plan to get Emma to understand, then I'll go along with it. So he was purchasing the present for Mary Margaret. August is in the office and totally gets busted by Mr. Gold.
Oh, man. I was nervous in that scene because I thought Henry's not there anymore. He's in the back. He could have made August disappear. And at that point, he wasn't suspecting that it was Bay.
No, but now we know he was in there looking for the sword.
Right. Yeah. I thought it was a map, because you said they were trying to find something to prove to Emma. I know, but I kept thinking he's looking for a map of Fairy Tale Land or something that he's going to find in there. But no. He wanted that sword.
So one of the things that I loved was when Mr. Gold went to see Dr. Hopper. And Dr. Hopper said, "You have a son?"
Yeah.
And he said, "How old is he?" And Mr. Gold says, "Let's start with something easier." Because really...
Well, how's he going to explain
how in the world do you say how old your son is when it's like from...
And not just that, how do you explain any of it? Because it would all be tied into it. You know? Yes. He had to skate around it. The other one was... that I thought was good was when Hopper was talking to him and he says, "We need to be honest," and he says, "Honesty has never been the best color on me."
Exactly.
I was like, no kidding.
Well, and he tells Dr. Hopper, "I think he might still be very angry. I think he might be trying to kill me."
Yeah, crazy.
Because he knows that because he saw the drawing of the sword in August's hotel room. He broke into his room.
And he found that drawing.
And so he knows very well
the maid did it.
Once again... On that desk?
I thought the maid did it, remember?
No,
that was August.
August did it.
It was August's place.
I know, but it would make sense.
And
They
once
said
again, that
the
was
maid
where
could draw a picture, but they didn't say she did draw them.
That was where the donkey paperweight was.
I see what you mean by that.
Yeah.
Was on that desk.
Yeah.
And we saw it when he was on the phone, too. That's why it kind of stood out to me.
Well,
Why
it
is
was
there
definitely
a
a
donkey?
plot device. They were trying to get you to see
The donkey.
that they're,
So
that's
we'll
going to come
find
up
out.
at some point.
We will find out.
So,
Yeah. What if he's just a character related to a donkey?
Right. Or there's a donkey in the story he's from.
That's what I meant.
Right.
so,
Like, but it.
I thought you meant like it's a donkey's third cousin or something.
No.
so he sees August. They have a moment and hash it out. He apologizes.
Oh,
They
it's a
forgive
big
each
moment.
other. They're hugging. It's crying. I was so touched
And
until
Gold-
we find out it wasn't him.
You could see that Gold was like
really getting
really
closure.
coming along, and
yeah.
and then he gives this guy the sword,
August.
the sword, because he's like, look, this is proof that I'm not going back to who I was. This is starting anew. Here you go. And that's when he turns on him.
Yeah.
That's when August turns on Mr. Gold. I thought this whole thing was interesting because he says that he's dying. It doesn't matter. I'm dying.
Yeah.
And he says, I was hoping the Savior could fix me, but
The magic could fix me.
No, the Savior.
Oh, yeah, he did say that.
And then said something about
I don't have
she
enough
told
time.
me, and she told me something. When he was referring to she, I believe he meant the Blue Fairy.
Yeah, Mother
Me too.
Superior.
But who's the Savior?
Well, I thought he meant Mother Superior.
I don't think so.
Because that's who he had just gone to see.
Yeah, but I don't think she knows that she's the Blue Fairy. So I don't think that she would know that, and she doesn't have magic. He's working within magic in a realm that doesn't have magic. Now, that's another thing I want to point out. When we're assuming that Bay is here, okay?
Yeah.
Because it's a realm that
with
doesn't
no
have magic. Right. Jinx. And if you think about a couple episodes ago, when they were talking about this, they said the realms bump into each other. Some have magic, some don't.
Yes.
So we think that Bay might be here, but we don't know that.
Yeah.
Bay could be anywhere.
Yes.
And we may never run into Bay. This may be something that just hangs out there. So interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Gold in this episode he's very busy. He's trying to frame Regina. It turns out that through all of that, he was setting Regina up to take
Right.
the fall.
It was an elaborate plan from the beginning, which we also are getting that impression that this whole thing of making Storybrooke happen
Was him.
was him
'Cause she
in an elaborate
said-
plan to manipulate her there.
She said, "You created the curse." She got him to create the curse.
Right. But
And-
he
and she
created it
said-
for his benefit.
That brought us all to Storybrooke, and you created all of this.
Yes.
So she said, "I thought we were working together. I thought we were
Yeah.
partners. We worked together to build this." And he's like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
that
not
was
so
that
much.
was what I let you believe, but that's not what my ultimate plan was." So he wants to oust her.
Yeah.
And then he says to Emma, "Do you think I'm working with Regina or against her?" And Emma says, "Maybe diagonally."
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
I think she is working. I think he is working with her, and he isn't.
Right. So it's kind of diagonally. That was good.
So the other storyline that was going on here was the Mary Margaret.
Yes.
And Emma goes to visit Catherine in the hospital,
Right.
and then they're all at Catherine stays in the hospital, but they're
Right.
they're all at the party. Oh, and
Well, it's a
Catherine
party.
remembers that someone held her. She said, "I was in a car accident, and then I woke up in a basement."
She tells a crazy
That was
story.
terrifying.
She's in a basement and there was food and water, but that was it. And then the next thing she remembers, she's
Running through the
awake
woods.
on the edge of town in the woods. So somebody was holding her.
And then let her go.
Yes. And why did they let her go at that point?
Yeah.
Mad Hatter.
And then Mad Hatter.
I say it's Mad Hatter because he lives on the
Oh,
edge
he
of town.
does. So she could have been like in his basement or something. Ah.
Could be.
Yeah, and then David goes to see her and kisses her forehead, and they
That
kind of
was
talk it out.
awkward.
It was awkward, but you know what? It shows that she realizes they weren't supposed to be together. He should have just been honest,
Yes.
and he's trying to grow here too, and I appreciate.
I thought that was nice. I thought it was a nice scene, and we did find out that the Catherine on here is far different than the Catherine in our Brothers Grimm book. She is not daft.
No.
So yeah,
no, she's becoming more likable at this point too. They're doing a good job at that, and they have that party. The party was for
Mary
Margaret being let out, and the dwarves were all there.
Oh, favorite thing.
Yeah.
Of all this episode.
Yeah.
When Henry gives her Mary Margaret her card.
Yeah.
And she was so happy you didn't kill Mrs.
Nolan?
Yeah.
Mrs. Nolan. So happy you didn't kill Mrs. Nolan.
From the whole class.
The whole class, because
I thought that would
be Catherine.
Funny.
They're like, we're so glad you are not responsible for killing Mrs. Nolan.
Exactly. Very funny.
That was funny.
Sydney, Emma finally confronts Sydney about the bug.
Yes, that was important. And he's so weird about Regina, and she calls him out. Are you in love with her? And he made that face like,
he is.
Uh-oh.
Yep, she got it.
Yep. And then at the end, same kind of thing. He, at the very end, he comes in and confesses to be the one.
Well, no. No.
Well,
Hang on. Wait.
I'm holding my horses. Hold your donkeys.
First of all, we'll finish out Mary Margaret. She still doesn't want to forgive David.
Right.
So she doesn't let him in the party.
Right.
Then when she sees him later that night, she's very cold.
Yep.
But they do talk it out. So they're getting they're mending fences a little bit there. So when Emma...
Next she's going to take him on Maury Povich, and they're going to fight it out!
Emma shows up at the station, and Regina's sitting there. And they start talking, and Regina says, I have a confession. Make sure you listen to the whole thing before you make judgment. And in walks Sydney.
Right.
And Regina coerced him, made him take the fall for her.
Yeah.
That wasn't his confession.
Right.
He didn't have anything to do with this.
That's why I'm saying. He comes in and he confesses, but...
That's not him.
Well, you know what? It might be, and I'll tell you what might be.
She might have made him do it.
Right. He very well might have. That's why if they go to his place, they'll find the evidence. It's his fingerprints that he did this. But not because he wanted to. It's because she manipulated him into doing this and then got him to come in and confess.
Mr. Gold did the things and she
How do you
said
get that?
Because they said it at the beginning. I thought that they said at the beginning when she said when he was framing her and when he said it all leads to you, she goes,
right.
We were supposed to be working together. You planted all the evidence to be on me.
Right. But it wasn't the.
She twisted it then after she found that out and put it on him on Mirror.
Okay, because I was thinking that still all worked, but that the actual held in the basement could have been Sydney.
Yeah, I don't know. I got the impression
but you're thinking
that she scrambled after she found out that he was...
So maybe Gold had her, but now she's using Sydney to throw him off the scent
because Gold had made all of it uptight to her.
He made it so good that it went back to her. Yeah, okay.
So that I thought that she was...
I don't know if we'll ever get an answer exactly to how that worked, but one way or another...
But I thought that there was no way he was the one who did it.
His alibi was garbage.
Why would he break the shovel and put it in Regina's...
Oh, no. I'm not saying he did that.
No, I'm not. I'm telling you, Regina would not... She would have killed it. I mean, seriously. Right. If he had done... This was all Mr. Gold.
Yeah.
And she was just... As soon as she found out... She started covering her tracks by putting it all on him.
Sure, okay.
And manipulating him to take the fall for her.
So she staged this. So when they go to investigate, no matter what, it's going to point to Sydney because...
Even though it's her.
That's what they set up.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's what I think.
So did this one have any costumes or anything that really stood out to you, Mal?
We didn't have too much in Fairy Tale World.
We did in the last one with the dresses, but there wasn't that much going on in this one, was there?
And we didn't have a lot of favorite lines.
No.
It was just kind
of good ones.
Another one of those stories.
Fills in the blanks.
Yes.
Exactly. We needed it to just give us some answers, propel the story further. The next one will probably be loaded with adventure and
I bet
Probably.
it will kinda show August's kinda trident.
you think?
A little. It might have him bleeding through a little more.
Here's what I think, because we're at episode 19, so there's 3 more left of this season.
Oh,
The
wait,
last
wait,
one is going to be the big one with all the reveals
Yes.
and everything, and then propel us into the next season. So I bet this next one is a little more actiony and stuff. The following one will be really backstory stuff. So very much like the last couple episodes, it's going to pull us back, and then that final one is going to be like a big finish.
Okay.
We're doing those.
Although
Yes.
maybe not, because a lot of time the
We ran
penultimate
up
episode
today.
is the one that really launches all that, and that's the one just before the final of the season. You know, when you think about it, that could be what it is. So, I just can't wait to get to it. We've
Yeah.
only got 3 more left of this season.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Let's wrap it up. You can find past episodes of this and all of our other podcasts at our website, which is...
www.southgatemediagroup.com.
You said that a lot clearer than I said my part of that. Find us on Twitter. I'm at rsouthgate. Martha, you tweet at
SMG Pods.
SMG Pods. Find us on Stitcher and iTunes. Rate us, review us. It helps people find us. And comment. Send us comments. We love that. You can email us at southgatemediagroup@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr. For any of these, the easiest way to do it is just search for Southgate Media Group rather than for the show itself, because that's usually the easiest way to find your way to those things. I think that's really it. I just can't wait to get to the next one.
Yeah.
Now let's end this the way every great fairy tale ends.
Happily ever after.
The end.
If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.